Just before the video starts, guys, if you're grinding CS2 and you feel like you're stuck or just not improving the way you want, this is for you. I put together a full course designed to help you hit 3k elo. As you guys know, I've spent years competing and coaching players at all levels. I've worked one-on-one with people who are hard stuck, and I've helped them break through by focusing on the stuff that actually matters. In this course, I'll give you the super specific practical advice you need, like the optimal sensitivity range, a training routine, desk height depending on your sensitivity, optimal tone of voice so your teammates actually listen to you in your pug, and other specific stuff like this. We'll also cover how to set up your game optimally, mechanics, communication, everything you need to learn to be 3k elo. When I designed this course, I wanted to make it so I could just pretty much speedrun you to 3k elo as fast as I could. Basically get rid of a bunch of the trial and error that comes with it. It's pretty much everything I wish I knew when I was climbing, so go check it out in the description below. So a lot of you guys have limited time to actually play CS and practice compared to us kind of pros. You get like hours and hours a day, and you see Donk playing like 15 hours a day and whatever. So I thought I'd make a video quickly explaining how you can maximize your time, even if you don't have much actual time to be able to put into the game. So if you're going to school or you're going to work, 9 to 5, 8 till, 3:30, you have limited time to put into the game. So I'm going to teach you how to actually maximize that time. So there's a lot of guys that I work with in my coaching that don't have much time, so we have to optimize their schedule, and this is just kind of what I'm going to talk about in this video is a lot of the problems that they run into and just easy solutions that you can implement right now. So I'm going to give you actual ideas that work for all these guys if you have a super busy schedule. So if you're wanting to get to 3k elo just for fun, or you actually wanting to maybe even transition out of your job into a semi-pro team, get a few k euro a month, or even into a professional team from semi-pro. So the first kind of simple tip that everyone probably has in their mind already is quality over quantity. So you don't really need 10 hours of just randy face it pugging every day, although you'll probably get a little bit better. We don't have time for that, and there's specific exercises and ways you can just hard focus within 1 or 2 hours a day, where you can just focus on specific exercises that you're actually that you're not good at. So not just autopiloting around. I want you guys every game that you play to actually go into it with a goal. So for example, you go into a game or DM or aimbots, and you'll have an intention. So it'll be to practice peak stop react, which is a concept we talk about a lot on this channel, getting all picks, IGLing in pugs, so practicing strategies that you have that you want to actually use into the pug. That might sound silly to some of you, but it's an actual thing, having set small kind of easy strategies across each map. And this is something we talk about in the course down below, but it's you want to have a simple strategies that you can call, something you can practice with intention, and maybe even fixing your complaining on mic. So maybe you're just complaining in a bad mood while playing. So that's something you can actually just go into a pug with intention on. So that's just something I had to cover quickly, but we'll go into some more kind of specific things. So the first one we talk about is training your subconscious. So I think it's super underrated, the subconscious, and how important it is into CS. It's something that all the best players tap into. So what is actually the subconscious, and how does it kind of link? Subconscious is your brain that kind of just automatically does stuff, and that can be spraying, it can be crosshair placement, just everything that kind of happens on auto. So when you're driving a car, you can just subconsciously kind of be driving your car, and then suddenly you arrive at the gym. You don't even know how you kind of got there, because you just do it on auto mode. That's what we want in CS. So the best way to do that is to train consciously, so having specific exercises like I said before. So another great way to train it is to watch pro demos, but you guys obviously don't have much time. So one hack I love to teach people and use is on your ride to work or school, even on the toilet, or on your lunch break or whatever, just pull out your phone instead of watching Instagram reels or anything, or even if you're waiting at the doctor's or something, instead of watching some reels or something stupid like that, just pull up a POV of one of your favorite players. A bunch of people, if you look up on YouTube, upload POVs of both pugs and professional games. So whether you want to get better at Face It, or you want to get better in your team and your role, you can just look up POV of the player, or pro POV pug, PUG or Face It, and you'll just see a bunch of them, and you'll learn players. When you're watching these games, what I do this as well, is I'll just pull up my phone and I'll be watching, and then I'll see a cool nade or something, and I'll literally just hit the screenshot button on my phone, and then when I get home, I'll go into a server and implement it. This is just an easy way you can learn a bunch of nades, and your subconscious sees stuff. And what you'll find is you'll get in game after watching all these, because remember, we don't have much time, that's why I'm making this video. So usually, you know, you just be, if you're a pro, you'd be watching at home, just like on your computer or whatever. But what you'll find is when you watch it like this on your phone, because we don't have much time, you'll like slowly be implementing the things that they're actually doing. So you'll like have a situation where you're like out long on Dust 2, and previously you might not have known what to do, but you remember from your like pug demo or whatever you watched to, okay, smoke long cross and like rotate and like retake B on Dust 2. Like it's just like a concept. It's like a thing. It's something you saw in the pug, but you're gonna now subconsciously kind of know it because it's being kind of like implemented into your brain, if that makes sense. And it's something that all the time, like things from demos that I've seen and concepts that I've like processed in my head while you're watching. It's like also not to watch. Also, make sure not to watch like just mindlessly. Is to actually like process the things that you're watching, if that makes sense. And if you do, you actually get in game and you'll like have similar situations that you saw like even like a month ago, and you'll go do that. What you just saw like the pro do. It's super interesting. It's like it's kind of fun as well when you actually end up doing this. So this is just a good way of kind of making most of your time. And I also have like a course in the description teaching you how to get to 3k elo, and in that I basically teach you the skill of how to actually watch demos, because people just don't know how to watch it. As I said before, they just like mindlessly watch, but there's ways you can kind of specifically watch and focus on specific things. So that's down in the description if you want to have a look at that. So even if you aren't playing and just watching, your brain is still learning, so remember that. Next one is you need to have good aim, right? Over the last kind of few months, I've been thinking that aim is more important kind of than ever in CS2. People move so fast, and it's crazy how good everyone's aim is now. And I've seen so many players with just raw aim, just not even doing the most complex, like 300 IQ, like super smart plays, but they have like unreal aim, so they can get away with it. I feel like that wasn't as much of a thing in CSGO. So aim is super important. So you guys don't have much time. So for example, you have like 1 hour, 30 minutes. Spend like 15 minutes of that time just on a super tight and regimented aim routine. Then go Q face it. So have like a consistent aim routine that you do. For me, it's 200 DM kills and 1,000 bots, like minimum every day. And what you want to do during that time, as I said before, is target specific skills, because we don't have much time. So like during that 15 minutes, you could even make it a bit longer if you have a bit more time, but have like a training routine which you hit every day. For you guys, I would say to do it like right before your matches, because you don't want to just do training for an hour and a half, right? You want to also be able to like play face or your team. So have it like each day before your like team practice or your face game, that you have like a 20-minute routine where you hit what I just said before. Obviously my one's a bit longer, like 1,000 bots and 200 DM takes a bit longer than 15 minutes or 30 minutes, but for you, just implement something. So that could just be like 200 bots and then like 50 DM kills, and then you're ready for the day, just to get you switched on, right? It's like it's like the classic gladiator grab the sand kind of thing to kind of like get you into the zone. So that's like a practice routine you can use. And yeah, if you want coaching, I can give you like tailored exercises to actually fit into your schedule. I have like a bunch of creative exercises that I use on the clients that like is super interesting and actually gets people results like almost instantly. So if you want to check that out, it's in the description. But think of your own exercises. Think of like what you're not good at. So it might be like your peaks and your AD strafes are really bad, so you develop like a specific exercise that you just practice every day in DM, not just like running around like with zero brain. That's the problem that I see a lot of people have. Like every other sport, we focus on like specific exercise, but in CS people just like decide to like cancel that out and not do that when it's like super important. So let's focus on specific things while you're practicing, and have like a really efficient aim routine that you've actually thought out and that you fill in every day. Bonus is to actually do it on a Google Docs and have like a table. I can show it on the screen right now, the table. I get my clients and I also fill in one every day. It just helps you keep accountable and show that you're actually putting in the work, and it reminds your brain that you're putting in the work. Next one is to learn a few like super strong nades per map. So if you did what I said before and you're watching Pro Pov, you'll see we don't really throw very complex nades. So it's super basic, kind of well-timed, well-executed nades that help us be able to get kills. So I've seen a lot of people that I work with so many times, guys I coach, they just pull out util when they should actually be taking fights. So just learn basic nades and prioritize taking fights. So it's like a bonus tip, but just take fights, guys. I see so many people scared of taking fights. You need to be taking fights more than pulling util. Util should be assisting in those fights. Like you'll see Donk just run out top mid in like the major, or in like the biggest stage, as well as pugs with like full util belt, right? Like he's ready to just take fights. Okay, yeah, I know his aim's super unreal, but this is what all pros do. Like in all FACEIT games, in all, like, they're not pulling util out when they're like peeking angles. Like I'll see people, they'll be like running up short, imagine on T side Mirage, and they'll know there's a guy like empty pillar, so they'll like pull out a nade, trying to like nade the guy empty pillar, you know, over that little wood box bit, and it's like, no, just like jiggle him out, or just like peek, stop, react, and kill him. It's like you need to find times. It basically is only useful to like pull util if you're like behind a wall, or you're gonna nade and then like swing out from the wall. Like, people just pull out util at the complete wrong time, so I keep making this point, but just learn simple util. Learn all your window smokes. If you missing them, have like a notepad next to you, or even just write on like your shift tab on Steam on like the notes page. Just look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about, and just write on there like Mirage window smokes, and just check it after the game and fix it. That's kind of the goal, is like to fix small things like super fast. So you want to fix it like straight after the game if you miss a nade like that, and make sure you always have a notepad or your shift tab available. This is something all my teammates use, all the coaching clients. This is super important. So once again, you don't need a big giant like lineup like knowledge in your head, especially if you don't have too much time to play. Just learn like the basic nades. You'll learn that from the povs. This is probably the most important thing in this whole video. And then also just remembering to practice them, take screenshots on your phone. If you don't know like the window smokes, you can just look up like window smokes Mirage, and you'll learn them instantly. Like, so many people even in 3k elo don't know that somehow, so learn those guys. Ancient Mirage window smokes, learn them if you don't already know them. So I want you guys to pick a role and actually master it. I see all the time with like clients who are in teams, they always have like roster changes all the time, which happens a lot at like kind of lower levels, ESA Open, ESA Main, where they're like switching roles and positions every 2 months or something. So you're not going to get good doing that. There's a reason why most pros just stay in the role their whole career. You'll look at, you know, AWPers, simple. They become AWPer and they stay AWPer. You look at NAF, who's like a lurker, or you look at Rob's a lurker. They don't just switch randomly to like becoming AWP and then back to like entry, then lurking. Like, stick with your roles and stick with it. Like, if you're gonna get into a better team, this is a tip for you guys. Like, say you're an open team and you get invited to a main team, but you're AWPer, but they want you to play like a lurk role because you're like a really good player, right? You're ready to kind of go higher, but they don't have a slot for that role that you originally were, which was AWPer, and they want to put you in like a shitty like lurker role, which isn't necessarily shitty if that's your role, but your role's an AWPer, right? That's how you started, that's how you know how to play. You don't want to go learn a whole new role, play really bad in that team, and then everyone knows you now because you're in like a higher team as a rifler, but then you're not very good, but they don't know that you're an unreal AWPer in open. Does that make sense? So try to keep your role the whole way up if you can. If you really hate a role, or you're like really bad at a role, then obviously fix it and like change. But you can have like your own identity of what you want. You don't have to like let other people decide what the role is for you. Like I just said, like just stay AWPer. Like, even though it might take an extra, you know, month or so to get up into that team, you don't want to join that team in like a shitty role that you don't enjoy. So pick the role you want and master it. If you hear any pro in like an interview or anything like that, they'll talk about fixing mistakes. So that is something that I've noticed is that can be the difference between like a player that can actually become pro or become semi-pro and a player that will just stay at like 3k. It's like how fast you can fix mistakes. So it's like literally the time between doing the mistake and fixing it is kind of like a number that would correlate with how well you can actually get up in the ranks slash, you know, become a better player, become a pro, get in the higher kind of ESEA leagues. So for me, during my games, after I die, I call my info to my team, and like call if I need to, like if they have kits or if I need help the retake, but I don't ruminate on my death that I've just had. I don't keep overthinking it. I just focus on coming to a conclusion within literally 2 to 4 seconds of how I died and fixing that. So like, I'll have a mental note. I'm just thinking now of like a game I played yesterday. I threw like a flash on Anubis on A that like bounced. I was like CT and I bounced the flash, and they were like coming A main, and I bounced the flash like really badly and landed in front of me, and for some reason my brain thought it would go behind like the stairs down below, but it didn't, and it just full wired me. So like, I insta-called, okay, A rush, but then I was like, okay, what the hell did I just do? Oh, I just looked at the flash. That's like dumb. I'm not going to do that again. I need to make sure to turn and then peek like after the flash. Sounds dumb, but like I insta-fixed that in 2 to 4 seconds. Some of you guys will just be ruminating it and still thinking about it in the game for like 2 to 3 minutes, or maybe even longer. Maybe even the night after you're sleeping, you make a big mistake and you're still thinking about it. It's like just make that time between you doing a mistake and fixing it super fast. This is the same in DM. Like you might do some like bad movement where you like click WD and you die in DM, and you just instantly think, okay, I just died. How did I die? Okay, I was clicking WD. I need to click A and D instead, so I have like really good and consistent movement. So then you fix that instantly. So this is something that I've like trained and I do a lot, and that's like, it means that mistakes just fix super fast, so you can get onto the next one, and you can just like quickly kind of turn over mistakes. And this is what like you'll see all the pros, like someone that comes to mind is Zaiwu, who you can tell like he does this. Like as soon as a mistake happens, he doesn't just let it ruminate and let it be like just a constant kind of thing that keeps coming up. He like has a mistake, it's fixed, and then now it's fixed forever. That's how you want to fix mistakes. One thing I see all the time is like people will miss util and then just continually miss util. Something I make a big kind of point of for me is, if I miss util, I try to never miss it ever again. So I'll write it down, like I said, on the shift tab or on like a piece of paper or just a mental note for me, and I'll fix it instantly after the game. So I'll hop in a server and just fix it, and I'll try like the util. I'll like run up to the position and like imagine I'm like actually in game throwing the util. I'll throw the util and then I'll make sure it lands. Then I'll run like from a different direction. I'll try and do it fast, slow, and I'll make sure I can hit that util. And a quick tip for you guys, which is an unreal like concept I made up. If you can't do the util in your head, when you get in game, you won't be able to do that util. So for me, I can run around in the server in my head, so I can run around on Mirage and go to each spawn right now in my head and like throw the util. I can go to like A and practice like the A smokes in my head. If I can do that in my head, that means as soon as I get into game, I'll be able to do it. So when you're learning util, try and make sure that you can do it in your head and you can visualize the lineup in your head before you actually get into game. If you can't do it in your head, there's a chance you will miss it in game. Great tip for you guys to use, just to end it there. So I said it before, but a lot of people actually do have a lot of downtime, like after work or after school. Now you might be a bit tired, but you know, if you really want it enough, use your downtime well. Like people complain about having not enough time, but if I like looked at your screen time on your phone, it probably has like 3 hours average every day on like Instagram Reels. So change your downtime from like video games or like short form content or anything like that to demos and aim prac. Now this might sound like kind of weird and silly, but this is something that I've implemented. And although CS is my job and I have quite a lot of time to work on this game, I still implemented this and kind of completely cut down on short form and that kind of thing and switched to literal demos and aim prac, and then listening to like a podcast in the background. So I'll like watch demos or do aim prac and just listen to a podcast. So I'm like basically like training my subconscious to shoot, and I'm still fixing that, but then I can also tune into like what's happening when I'm listening to. So it's also training the skill of being able to play CS and listen at the same time, which is a skill you need while playing in team games. So I implemented this about like 6 months ago, and the improvement has been unreal. So I'm so much better than I was 6 months ago, and this was one of the big changes I kind of made. I feel like I've had more time in the game. I always have like 130 hours past 2 weeks, but it feels like kind of easy. Doesn't feel like I'm getting burnout because I'm kind of just sometimes relaxing. Like I say, to do super specific training, and for you guys who don't have much time, you need to do that. But you can also have like more relaxing time. So for you guys, maybe on the weekends when you don't have school or work and you're just chilling and you don't have too much to do, just pop on a podcast or some music and just aim prac and not think too much about it. Like just play DM for fun. So when you you don't always have to be like full focus like practicing something. You can just play DM for fun or play Face It for fun. That's totally fine. But if you really want to improve fast and on the days where you don't have much time, just specifically focus on things that will affect and fix your weaknesses. So if your weakness is peak stop react, fix that. If your weakness is understanding the macro of the game, watch more demos. So target weaknesses with specific exercises. Next one is faking confidence. So confidence is a weird thing because people talk about it a lot. You'll see in interviews, they'll say, you know, you need to have confidence, and like I didn't have confidence this game, so I didn't play good. Or I had confidence, just so much confidence this game, so I just destroyed everyone. So how do you actually get the confidence if you're not like a tier 1 player with like 1.3 HLTV? If you're just like an average kind of guy just playing CS, or maybe you're like 2k elo trying to hit 3k. The solution is to change your identity. So what is identity. It's kind of how you see yourself as a player, how you speak to yourself, how you act. Something that I did before I became a pro was I basically in my head was already a pro. So I was playing a bunch every day. I was doing like hard training, watching demos. I was talking about CS in the way that pros talk about CS. There's like a specific language which is hard to actually learn unless you're around the pros. That when I talk to people who don't know how to play CS, like the way they speak, they won't say like correct words. Like pros say like T's and CT's when they're talking about like teams. There's like language that people use that pros use. So like learning about that, basically just acting and speaking like pros speak. So watch a lot of content, how they like speak, how they act, how they approach the game, and just basically telling yourself I'm a pro and this is how I act, and basically just do the actions that they do and speak the way they speak and make it like as your identity. So you might want to be like 3k elo. So in your head you act like a 3k elo player. So you'll get into like a lobby with like 2k elo level 10s, but in your head you're like 3k elo. So you know, okay, I'm going to lead these people. I'm going to help them here. Maybe I'll have to bait them a little bit now because I know like I'm the 3k elo player. So I'm like the better player. Which sounds kind of ego-y, but it's super important to change this identity before it even is like a reality. And eventually you'll like just keep living this identity until it actually just becomes real. It's something that happened to me, like with being a pro. I always thought like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be pro. I'm pretty much like pro. I feel like I'm good enough to play in this, so I'm just gonna act like a pro. And I just did the actions. I played CS a bunch, and obviously you guys don't have too much time, but just change your identity. Like I'm a professional at CS. I might not have much time, but I'm gonna like go hard 30 minutes, okay, doing this aim practicing my macro and learning about like rotations, and then I'm gonna hit like peak stop react, practice and DM, that kind of thing. So it's like targeting using specific exercises, and who does specific exercises, professionals or the people you want to be. So kind of live through and change your identity to the goal and the person you want to be. So yeah, you don't need 10 hours a day to become like good at CS. People do it with like much less time. I know a lot of my coaching clients don't have much time at all. They have full-time jobs. They've gone from having, 3k elo and they're like getting into semi-pro teams now. So if you guys need help with that, just chuck me a message on Twitter. Just check out my website and I can literally just coach you through and like organize your schedule for you if you don't think. But if you don't do that, you can just make a schedule for yourself and target specific things with your time. It's just like use of time, because everyone has 24 hours a day, so you need to just use your time correctly. You can still have that like fun time where you play on the weekends or like even after you've done this practice routine, but if you really want to improve, you have to like target things and think about things in a certain way. So you just got to train smart pretty much. I have a few demo reviews on my channel, so I can go check them out, just see how I like think about the game, how I watch players, and that will kind of give you an idea of how you can also watch pros, because there's like a skill of watching demos. So an interesting thing to think about is like all the information is out there with CS, right? Like for football and that kind of thing, you can't really see people inside someone's eyes, like where they're looking. It's kind of hard to get all the info about like what's happening, whereas in CS you can literally go in game, watch all the rotations, go back and forth, see through like the walls with X-ray. So all the information is out there about how pros play. Like there's even voice comms videos. Obviously they don't show like the strat at the start, but you can see what strats they're doing, so it's like all out there, but people don't watch it enough. Like I've seen some of the coaching guys, they've watched so many demos over time that like everything they see, they have like a reaction to, that they've literally stolen from like Nico and then Donk and then like some like Brazilian player. They basically like see so much and from demos that they just implement it. They just see it in game and then they implement it. So yeah, I advise you guys to keep watching, keep grinding demos, and making your kind of downtime as time that you can put into watching like POVs and just like learning about the game. So if you want to get coached, or check out the course down below, and I will see you in the next one.